Good afternoon, everyone, especially to our dear professor who really took time for us, Mr. Antonio Casurao, to our panelists, Mr. Melvin Jason De Vera, Mr. Christopher Malano, and the last but not the least, our chairperson, Mrs. Agnes H.M. In behalf of our group, I'm going to present our study, which is the effectiveness of external hedging technique employed by selected multinational companies in Metro Manila against foreign exchange rate risk. I am proud to introduce to you the proponents. Ms. Labong Maria Minerva, Precious Balubal, Ronaldine Nalicon, Glenda Ebuenga, Generous Escat, Rose Anson Lee, Pauline J. Mendoza, Sara G. Soriano, Jerlyn Trias, and Evsen Antentu. Hedging is designed to reduce the volatility of earnings or to stabilize the value of a particular asset and liability. It is similar to an insurance coverage in the sense that people acquire it to protect themselves from certain unfavorable risks. In business, risk can't be ignored. It is an evident possibility of unexpected events. It is a circumstance or factor that may have a negative impact on the operation or profitability of a company. Thus, there are always risks to be considered from the company's point of view. As companies find its way out of the borders of their home country by entering the global market and becoming multinational companies in an endeavor to maximize shareholder wealth, their risk exposure becomes more evident. The new opportunities that open up in an international trade are really the consequence of the new sets of problems and challenges. Therefore, it is imperative for MNCs, most particularly those who are situated in developing countries like the Philippines, to take note of the risks that follow business international trade, especially the foreign exchange rate risk whose volatility greatly affects the company's cash flow, profitability, and their asset and liability position. Furthermore, foreign exchange rate risk is the risk that affects the business operations or the value of an investment's assets and liabilities due to unanticipated changes in exchange rates. The changes are a global occurrence and therefore it mainly affects MNCs dealing with international business. Hence, a significant number of international trade dealings are shelved due to the unwillingness of parties concerned to bear foreign exchange rate risk. This phenomenon encourages MNCs to acquire innovative financial packages to help them weather the storms. Thus, hedging techniques, which is grouped into two categories, namely internal and external, came into the life of MNCs. Nevertheless, the availability of hedging technique is just reduce the outcome of the risk and do not totally eliminate the risk, which only means that no company is fully immune. Statement of the problem. This study is conducted to determine the effectiveness of external hedging techniques employed by selected multinational companies in Metro Manila in dealing with foreign exchange rate risk. Specifically, it aims to answer the corresponding questions. First, what is the demographic profile of the selected MNCs according to type of business, industry, home country, and market? Second, what are the external hedging techniques used by MNCs in the Philippines to hedge against foreign exchange rate risk? Next, what are the factors that MNCs consider before choosing an external hedging technique? And what are the problems MNCs encounters in performing external hedging techniques? How effective are the external hedging techniques against foreign exchange rate risk? And is there a significant difference on the effectiveness of external hedging techniques in terms of the following: type of business, home country, and market? Conceptual framework. The diagram depicts the difference between a multinational company who would use hedging and a multinational company who would not. If the MNC who engages in foreign transactions uses external hedging techniques against foreign exchange rate risk with its aim to reduce transaction and economic exposure, will reduce or totally eliminate lost profit. Moreover, it shall gain financial stability and prevent financial distress, thus become globally competitive. On the other hand, if a multinational company who engages in foreign transactions do not hedge the foreign exchange rate risk to reduce transaction economic exposure, it will lose profit and gain additional expenses. Our sampling technique is purposive sampling. Purposive sampling is determining the target population of those to be involved in the study. Sample population. A representative size of 30 MNC subsidiary in Metro Manila was our sample population. The respondents were composed of representative size of 30 various financial officers from selected MNCs in Metro Manila. To collect primary data, we decided to formulate a survey questionnaire with a mixture of multiple response and open-ended questions. Our intention was to send the questionnaire to 30 MNC's finance officer as our respondents, because we assumed that they had the greatest knowledge in the area of foreign exchange rate management. In order to measure the data gathered quantitatively, statistical tools will be used. This includes weighted arithmetic mean, frequency percentage, and chi-square.